You gave a pretty stinging speech 2 weeks ago, and basically, arguing that Malaysia has squandered quite a lot of the oil money that we had. Why did you do that? What prompted you to give that speech?
No, because I think we're going to get caught flat-footed because what happens when the oil money runs out, or when oil runs out, and we have not planned to have a substituted revenue in the event we run out of oil revenue in years to come.
But you did mention about something along the lines that there is actually a heritage fund.
Yes.
Now, what happened to that fund?
I have no idea. It was a proposal when I was there, so that we can build up this fund in order to finance the future and future programs. But after I left, I was told there were this fund and it was being built up, and suddenly there's no more talk about this fund. Presumably the funds were used and none is left. I don't know. We have no access to the accounts. I can't put my finger on the numbers precisely because I've been out of touch and I have no access to the accounts, as I've said. But Dr. Mahathir did say something to the extent that they said that there's some huge sums of money unaccounted for, missing. I don't know what happened. Well, I've got a newspaper cutting. I think about 7-8 months ago. But when I refer my speech, I refer to the amount of money that was spent from the time he was in control of the country and Petronas, and the amount that were utilized for all kinds of expenditure, including defense equipment purchase from Britain, for instance, which amounted to nearly 7 billion ringgit with this defense purchase through Mrs. Margaret Thatcher at the time, after they patch up when Mahathir threatened to buy British last. And I think the amount was big, and I'm told that some forward contracts were made to satisfy this defense purchase. That's why I say it is a curse, because we got this income, which is like a bonus or something that fell from heaven, and we seems to be over relying on this money, knowing fully well that we have only a small reserve, and that reserve is fast depleting at the rate we are exploiting oil. I thought it is better to keep it underground and save for the future generation. In fact, that was the plan when Petronas was incepted. That's why we had the Petroleum Development Council in order to guide Petronas on its exploration work, and concessions that were relinquished by the oil companies back to us should be better planned before it is given out for exploitation, and mindful of the fact that oil is a fast depleting asset and greatly in demand all over the world, especially by the industrialized countries. So it's better to keep it underground and recover it only at a pace that will suit and meet our requirements, especially for the future. I don't know. I think it started with this agreement with Mrs. Margaret Thatcher then. Suddenly the production of oil was double, 650,000 barrels to over 1 million barrels a day. That was too much for us. We're talking about knowledge knowledge-based economy. We're talking about that with the technological progress all around us. And we thought that with this new know-how, we should be able to leap forward. And we shouldn't be relying on all those old types of technology anymore where you do assembly things and relying on cheap labor. But instead, we're continuing with this. We had industrial master plan that was undertaken with the collaboration of the World Bank at one time when I was still in the government. But unfortunately, that was pushed aside. And in that, it was already suggested or proposed that we should upgrade our skill and provide education in order to upgrade our people, so that we have a meaningful supply of trained people for the future. But instead, we are facing problems that we face today with massive brain drains from the country, not just to the neighboring countries, but also to other parts of the world, Australia, Canada, name it. So we can't afford to lose this. And yet we bring in cheap labor. Not only cheap labor bring in the attendant problems that we find it difficult to cope, but also it has encouraged a lot of illegal immigrants that come with these migrant laborers that we have brought in. And a lot of them come here without jobs prepared for them. And as a result, you find all the attendant ills on our society, you know. I'm not blaming them entirely, but they also exacerbate the problems that we face.
But also a lot of them came here.
Increase high crime rate and bring in disease and what have you. You remember we were declared cholera-free, tuberculosis-free, and all these things by the World Health Organization, you see. But now you find suddenly an epidemic of some of these diseases again, which is unfortunate. And it's going to cost us a lot of money. And I think we're going to grapple with this problem for a long time, because a lot of them still have the permits to bring in this cheap labor, not just from Bangladesh, Indonesia, also from Burma, China, Thailand. In large numbers are here.